One day you will rend the very fabric that binds this land. But until that day comes, you must toot.
For the first time ever, Flat2VR Studios perfectly ports the multi-award-winning flat-screen rhythm game Trombone Champ Unflattened, and it's 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. Over 220 people have already rated it 4.79 out of 5 stars, with 95% of the audience scoring this 4 or 5 out of 5. Sounds awesome. Wield your virtual trombone across 58 tracks spanning anthems, marches, classical bangers, and folk classics. Each piece is handcrafted to keep you honking and sliding to your heart's content, with plenty of surprises and unlockables along the way to keep you coming back for more. Toot your way through an all-new campaign as you unlock fresh challenges and climb the leaderboards on your way to glory. Amass a treasure trove of trombones, each one wilder than the last, with 25 plus unique designs. Build your ultimate deck with 50 tromboner cards packed with absurd trivia and legendary trombone lore. I'm not too sure exactly what those cards entail, whether or not they're just collectibles with the actual trivia or lore, or if they actually affect gameplay. But I have only heard great things about this game. Anyone in the comments section that owns it, plays it, loves it, or hates it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. I'm assuming so with that incredible rating there.
The committee assures you that the Majorsk security zone is under total control.
The hit VR first-person shooter survival game is Into the Radius, and it's 34% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 6% more, making it 40% off total. And like a Resident Evil or a Gran Turismo, this is considered an absolute must-have for your PSVR2 library. Over 1,100 people have rated it 4.62 out of 5 stars, with 91% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. The entire original Into the Radius experience is brought to the PSVR2, complete with new features designed specifically for the headset, including foveated rendering with controller and headset haptic feedback. You find yourself in the middle of the Blighted Zone, cut from the outside world. Your guns and your wits are all you have left. Fight the deadly enemies, dodge dangerous anomalies, and complete missions on your way to the Radius Center to find your way out. Navigate with your realistic map, plan your route, scout out shelters, uncover loot caches, and try not to get killed. Everyone everywhere is going on about how amazing this is. If anything, I guess it's setting the bar on how VR games should be made. Hubris is an epic sci-fi adventure that no VR gamer should miss out playing, according to Without Parole, and it's 60% off right now. Over 1,400 people have rated this 4.38 out of 5 stars, with 86% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And as you can see here, it did win the WN Unreal Engine Best VR Game, as well as Upload VR's Best Desktop Game and Belgium Game Awards Best XR Game. Now that said, the last time this was on sale, I was a bit critical, giving this 4 stars right after I finished playing Red Matter 2. But since then, I went back, played it all the way through again, and got the Platinum so that I can make a walkthrough video, but was really surprised that the game was more fun on the harder difficulty.
Nice. Oh, that's harder for sure.
I was also shocked that I somehow missed that the default setting for sharpness was on 0 and not cranked to 1. Really weird. I was actually expecting some sort of performance issue with the sharpness cranked, but I swear I couldn't see any frame rate issues whatsoever. Only that everything looked slightly sharper than before, which was great, obviously. I totally dug the theme, the sound, the sense and headset haptics, the adaptive triggers, and being able to walk around in full room scale VR felt great.
Run direction, controller, overhead. If you go head based, when you move your head like this and you're pressing forward, your guy will move this way in VR. It's totally unnatural. For all games, I recommend controller, and this is how you play room scale VR. And when you're moving in all VR games with your left stick, traditional stuff, when I press forward and keep my arm still pressing forward and then look around, my body's still moving forward like in real life. When I'm pressing my left stick again, and then I move my body and my head at the same time. See, I'm keeping my arms stiff? That's how you move fully in VR, and it feels amazing.
Even the climbing sections were really cool.
Oh, let's make sure I have a grip here. Oh, the heights. Yes, that looks awesome. Oh, I hate heights. My hands just start to sweat all of a sudden.
But it was those incredible swimming scenes with that underwater gun that really stood out to me. That felt and looked amazing. Hubris has a balanced mix of jumping, climbing, swimming, action, and story with some basic crafting of weapons. Ultimately, it took me about 8 hours to complete, but I can highly recommend this at this incredible 60% off, as the game was generally enjoyable throughout the entire experience. Now, if you're still unsure whether or not this game is for you, you can get the free trial by logging onto the PlayStation Store website or directly on the PlayStation app. I can't believe so many of you don't even know that Mario Kart is in VR, and it's called Galaxy Kart, and it's 50% off. Over 400 people rated it 4.02 out of 5 stars. 75% scored this 4 or 5 out of 5, and I have to quickly speak to this because the game has grown immensely even since the last time I covered this about a year ago. And I'm not the only one amazed here at the progress, as Without Parole has expressed their excitement with just how far this game has truly come along since launch. And now with the cross-platform support with all of the meta players out there, I'm not sure about PC VR, you never have to worry about having a game online, which was a thing back in the day during launch on the PSVR 2. What a game changer, honestly. I personally did cover this game when they released that patch to allow every steering wheel to work with this game. Yes, I said that right. Every steering wheel works with this game. And again, since I'm using that force feedback wheel, this will not use force feedback in the game. It doesn't have that, rattling sensation when I'm hitting the wall or a certain part of the track. What happens is you have tension when you're taking a turn. You actually feel that resistance. Oh, I do love how there's tension in the wheel. That's very cool. And when you release the wheel, it snaps right back to the neutral position, which is absolutely what you want in a game like this. And combine that with using your brake and your pedal and holding one controller, you can easily steer and hold that controller with both hands using 2 fingers, as you're seeing right here, and shoot everybody at the same time without compromising any of the steering whatsoever. It really is Mario Kart in VR. Honestly, guys, the first few months the game came out, it only had a handful of tracks, really bare bones stuff, and now I think it's 4 or 5 times bigger than it originally was. And of course, like Stilt, this game is butter smooth, making it feel absolutely incredible playing this with a steering wheel and one controller. It really is an unparalleled arcade VR experience.
Oh, I felt that in my tummy, man.
The game has 18 unique courses to choose from, 6 tournaments, which wasn't even out when I did my video, 11 characters with their own unique skills. Again, each one has their own weapon. And right now there are 9 power-ups for everyone to utilize, again, with that unique ability that each character has on their own that no one else can have. And of course, there are 4 levels of difficulty. This is very important because, again, with 18 courses, and if you're like me that doesn't get to play online all the time, you just want to jump in and play by yourself really quick. This single-player campaign before was 9 or 10. I had played for a few hours by myself on normal mode, and that's not even touching the hard or challenge mode. So I gotta say, I didn't even get to play online with anybody, and I'm sitting here touting this as an amazing game, as you're seeing on screen me having a blast.
I'm not expecting. Oh my god, that was scary. Sorry, snowballs.
Even though I love Mario Kart, this has now spoiled me from going back because I never had the same sense of speed, control, or immersion like I do when playing Galaxy Kart VR. For real. Especially when using that steering wheel and the PSVR 2 Sense controller, coupled with my feet pressing the gas and brake pedals, feels so unreal and instantly fun to pick up and play. I truly can't recommend this enough at that awesome sale price. You need to run out and get this right now.
Fight, explore, build, cooperate, brew potions, chase the mystery, and dream up the solutions.
Take up to 3 of your friends on an amazing and immersive survival adventure in Green Hell VR, because it's 55% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 65% off total. 700 people have rated this 3.61 out of 5 stars, with 61% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 13% gave this 1 star. And this is all about surviving in the jungle, as you have to keep an eye on your nutrition by using your stopwatch to monitor your carb, fat, protein, and water intake. Your smartwatch will also alert you to injuries, parasites, or even a fever. Eating healthy, staying hydrated, and building proper shelters while crafting tools and weapons to hunt is the key to surviving in Green Hell. And that's where having friends work with you in this game seems absolutely paramount. I gotta say, since the latest patch on February 28th, I was able to test this out with the wife for the first time ever, and I'm super happy to report that it was effortless to get a game going within seconds, utilizing that digital game sharing feature. Instantly, I'm hooked, and I'm so happy I waited to play this with her, as I only invested an hour into the story mode. And now we get to play the entire campaign together. Awesome.
Oh, hello, there you are. that scared me. Oh, that looks good. When you grab your backpack, you can pull it out in front like this and hold it. It's so cool seeing that. Yep, you have nothing. We both have nothing. On the bottom, there's a filter here. See, for food, weapons. Yep, and you would put your bow and arrow or your hammer on the side, And then you've got encumbrance on the bottom. See the 50?
Nice. Yeah.
Very cool, eh?
So it tells you the weight.
Yep, that's awesome. You're looking right up to your watch. It's like you can't see it. That's awesome. Yeah, you are. Your eyes are.
It's changing.
1 second, let me try. I wonder. No. Oh, it does work. That's crazy. I didn't think it'd let me. I love how the leaves are flowing.
Oh, there's a bird feather.
Oh, nice. Can you put that in your backpack, please? Awesome. So this is what the whole game is about. We're going to be literally going around chopping shit down, keeping it, building shelters, killing animals. See this? We can use it for flint. Look.
Ah, made it sharper.
We get arrowheads and stuff. Oh, this is awesome. So check this out. The game is actually 10 to 15 hours as a story game, and it was one player. Then they added the co-op mode, and I thought it was just a survival mode. Just now I discovered we can play the story together, which is so kick-ass. Oh, wow, guys. Even this leaf here moving in front of my face with that light, illuminating it with the shadows, it looks really good.
Banana?
Yeah, I ate already. Actually, here, I'll take that. Oh, I'm so happy we get to play this now. Honestly, I've been waiting since this came out. Just dabbled into it. Didn't do anything really. Because I wanted to play with you.
What up?
Yes. And unfortunately, I heard a lot of people weren't able to connect when this multiplayer mode came out. But I just saw the patch yesterday. And so far, we've had no problems connecting. And you can have up to 4 people play at the same time. We're playing in the same room, man. And this is working flawlessly. That is good. Wait a second. Yeah, that is awesome. So if we saw a creature and you try not to make noise? Yes. You first. I'd say ladies first, but you're a dude with a beard.
You are a dude with a beard.
So we do look the same, probably. Just know that we're going to have to sleep and eat and do all that stuff, so the longer we take.
Oh my goodness.
Careful, don't fall, okay? That means I have... You got the funniest little waddle. It's like you're taking a little poop as you're walking, holding your waist. Oh, that's good. Listen for animals and stuff. Oh, we need a shelter. Yep, that's how you... Oh, watch out! Watch out! Timber. Okay, it's gonna get like... And when I say dark out, you won't be able to see. Oh shit. So you do know we're probably dead. When I say this to you, not that animals are gonna get us starvation or something.
What's in here?
Is that a cave?
Yeah,
Oh,
like a
what?
little...
1 second, 1 second.
A little bit of shelter.
Interesting. Oh, that's so cool. Right?
At least we have a wall behind our backs. We stay awake all night. Hope nothing comes up to kill us.
Soar through the skies like never before and restore balance to the universe with Sky Climb, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 30% more, making it 80% off total. 89 people have rated it 4.55 out of 5 stars, with 87% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. The first-person adventure brings classic platforming to VR, featuring an intuitive, arm-based locomotion mechanism that allows you to fling yourself from one cube to another in low gravity. From what I'm seeing here in the trailer, you can create your own levels, which is really cool. I'm not too sure whether or not you can actually post them online for others to compete on. There is a single-player campaign spanning 7 unique worlds, which includes a total of 65 levels, complete with 7 boss encounters and power-ups to help you along the way. As well, there is a multiplayer championship mode supporting up to 6 players in races and hoop collecting. You can also personalize your climber with a ton of customization options to help stand out from the crowd.
Looking for a cozy, creative VR adventure? Hop on board.
Now's the time to get all aboard with the coolest, most chill single-player board game puzzle experience in toy trains, and it's 50% off right now. Over 200 people have rated this 4.56 out of 5 stars, with 89% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And me giving it a 5 for sure, hands down, especially after that infinite loop update. And quickly, just speaking to this, I have to say, I did not buy this game. This was sent to me by the developers, and again, I expected nothing going into it because I did not have a toy train set growing up, and I had no interest whatsoever in playing like the sandbox mode, but I just didn't understand the game was actually designed as a puzzle game to begin with, which is amazing. This is another pick up and play experience. Quite literally, you can just pop the game in and it walks you through step by step how to do each stage properly. And what I mean is, the premise of the game is extremely simple. Quite literally, you just have a construction site in the middle of the board, and then you have a couple houses sitting there to begin with. All you have to do is make a railroad track literally connecting that house to the construction site. Or if you have multiple houses, you can have one railroad track connecting to both houses and the construction site, doing a complete loop. Or you can choose to do one track per house, meaning that you just have one track connected to that one house and that construction site with like multiple tracks going on at once. That's the beauty of this game. You literally can solve the puzzle the way that you want it with no time limit whatsoever. Even the pieces that you're given, it legit looks like a game manual. You're holding it out of the box and you can see what pieces they offer. Again, in the beginning, they're just giving you like a corner piece in a straight line. And as the stages progress, you get more and more pieces to use, to the point that you're about maybe halfway through the game, if not a little farther, and you have all the pieces to use. But again, each stage, they show you how to use a specific piece, like a slope or a tunnel or a bridge, in that one stage. And I do have to say this, had I reviewed this game before the infinite loop update, I would have been disappointed because it just picked up at level 9 out of 10. Right at the end of the game, I'm like, oh, okay, these are challenging courses now, if not just the last one. With this infinite loop update, they did include a plethora of new challenging puzzles, and I gotta say, that's where the game's at. But the sandbox mode is advertised in this new update. That is not at all appealing to me. I mean, I just touched it for a second. I didn't care for it. It's the puzzles, and they're so good, so good. So I do feel like anybody that's bought this game in the past, if you have not revisited this since the infinite loop update, it is a completely new game. It's 10 times better, honestly. So really cool that the developers added all this extra content for free, because it really made the game for me. Every challenge in that update was better than any of the challenges in the original game. So cool and so therapeutic. That's what I want to say. This game is therapy. At the end of the day, just chill out. Even standing or sitting, it doesn't matter. Step into a time machine and travel back to 1993 for an all-new immersive experience oozing with retro-fueled gaming nostalgia in Arcade Paradise VR. And it's 40% off. Over 270 people rated it 4.47 out of 5 stars, with 87% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. In this game, you play as Ashley, who's a rebel teenager going against her father's wishes to continue the family business. Get hands-on, managing the fully gamified day-to-day tasks, from manually picking up gum, doing the laundry, to throwing out the trash in a basketball-style minigame. That's cool, if the physics are there. Then take your hard-earned money from completing these tasks to unlock your real objective, buying more arcade units. And yes, the whole premise right away instantly grabs me. It does claim to feature 12 fully realized VR cabinets alongside 27 traditionally controlled games from the original release. Yeah, apparently there's 39 cabinets you can purchase in-game. And what's uniquely cool is that it says each cabinet features its own gameplay, stories, missions, and high scores to set with competition online leaderboards. From full RPG campaigns, beat-em-ups, and physical sports games, all inspired by 3 decades of gaming. And only a couple months ago, the developers just announced 2 new VR cabinets for free in their latest update. The first one is called Cyber Drums, which looks like a cheesy Drums Rock ripoff, which is actually a ripoff of Rock Band. But if the gameplay is fun and the songs are good and everything works, then that is super cool that they included it, as it totally looks appropriate for its time. And the second one I'm showing you here is Super Woodgal Jr. Ultra X Hyper Deluxe. What that title totally reminds me of all the many versions of Street Fighter back in the day. And in this game, you're literally a lumberjill, simply whacking either the left or right side of the arcade cabinet with those padded mallets, trying to get the fastest high score possible. That said, the game has been on sale a few times now, and one of our community members, Bob, has been kind enough to share his experience in detail for someone who owns both versions of the game. And he says that you cannot use your save file from the flat screen version of Arcade Paradise and carry it over to the VR version. So gotta hammer that in, guys. These are 2 separate games that do not use the same save file. So thanks, Bob, for the heads up on that. I really appreciate it. I much appreciate Mystery D piping in and letting us know that Arcade Paradise VR still has many bugs, and that they just completed the game with many issues still persisting, such as daily tasks that can't be completed being the worst offender. And thanks, Tom, for letting us know you enjoyed getting the platinum, and that you don't have to do the chores to earn money, as you can't fail. Just complete cabinet challenges, as it pays off better in the long run. Awesome. The award-winning Zombieland Headshot Fever is a modern take on the classic arcade light gun shooter, and it's 35% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Over 400 people have rated this 4.27 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. I have to say, I did get a free review key from the developers, and I played it all the way through, and I was totally blown away.
So cool. Hearing their heads pop, honestly, and the sound of the guns is so awesome.
This is literally pick up and play instant arcade awesomeness. But unlike a Crisis Brigade, you are not using the environment to take cover. You're actually just trying to take everybody out as they're coming to you as fast as possible. But in classic Zombieland fashion, you know, double tap and it blows their heads off. That satisfying feeling, hearing that head pop with the adaptive triggers, with the sound effects, with that 4K HDR OLED display, all cartoons look phenomenal, and the frame rate on this was awesome. And speaking of those headshots, when you get them, it slows down time. So that's how you get to, you know, take your time, pop, 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 pop. Just such an amazing, satisfying feeling. Seriously, I felt, if anything, what really stood out on one of the guns, the revolver, the PSVR2 Sense controller, I could feel the chamber rotating in my hand, and I haven't had that in Pavlov or any other game. So yes, you know, I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
That vibration, the revolver, the chamber rotating, that's what I was trying to say. That was really neat, man.
And in classic arcade fashion, you just have these levels to go through. You have different ranks, and each one has objectives. And when you complete one of those objectives, you can unlock the harder levels until you go all the way through. That's simple. And then once you're through these levels, they do offer a B-side with more challenges. And I did not get through all of this. You know, I put in lots of hours into this game, and I have to say, I left really happy. But I did cover this in detail in another video, and I'm showing you the thumbnail right now. I highly encourage you check that out if you're interested in getting this game. I can highly recommend it at that sale price, if not at full price, truly. Captain Toonhead vs. the Punks from Outer Space is an over-the-top tower defense game, and it's currently 40% off right now. Only 35 people have rated it 4.6 out of 5 stars, with 91% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. I have not played the game before, but from what I understand, you do play the traditional tower defense game in third-person mode, setting up your base, and then you go into first-person mode and actually do the action or the combat side of things here. VR Scout has said Captain Toonhead might be the most over-the-top VR game ever. As well, VR GameFAQs has said one of the best tower defense games I've ever played in VR. And this does look absolutely wacky and bizarre. Every character, every theme, all of it just looks so insanely weird. And you're supposed to balance the action with strategy, as shooting alone will not defeat the waves of cyber chickens and terra sharks. Combine those pinata tower bombs with your throws in a very strategic way if you want to save the Enter cubes and defeat Nicola Voorhees' punk army. You know, I don't even know. I just know this is a tower action defense game, and everyone that has spoken to this, literally played the game, reviewed it, has gone on to say how much fun it is. I've never been into tower defense games personally, but yeah, this one definitely stands out amongst all the others for sure just by looking at this. So weird. Anyone in the comments section that does own the game, has played it, can you please let us know your experience? That way we know whether or not to grab this at the sale price. Finally, the highly anticipated 4-player multiplayer patch has arrived in Ancient Dungeon VR, and it's 20% off. Over 550 people have rated it 4.72 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. With many popular YouTube channels giving this a perfect score, such as Without Parole. And since the latest update, there's now a few more relics, milestones, and journal pages, along with 2 new alternate dungeon floors to explore. And this is a procedurally generated underground labyrinth with no way back and only one way to escape. Fight through hordes of different enemies with a variety of upgradable weapons, and improvise using the rich physics-based combat to survive. Right on. No 2 dungeons are the same, which means each run is different from the last. Collect and uncover over 100 different upgrades, such as companion wisps, to game changers like exploding throwing knives. Experiment with upgrade combinations to gain unique advantages. Use the environment to gain the upper hand as you battle an array of deadly creatures. Encounter wights, slimes, skeletons, wisps, flying skulls, champion enemies, and more in thrilling melee and ranged combat. Discover the true history of the ancient dungeon, search for long-lost writings and historical records, and reveal hidden secrets throughout deep environmental storytelling. Interesting. And that multiplayer mode was all I needed to hear in order to grab this game on sale, and I'm looking forward to playing this one with the wife and showing you guys in the very near future. If you love the Rock Band or Guitar Hero, I highly recommend you check out Drums Rock Deluxe Edition because it's 35% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Over 1,200 people have rated this 4.27 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And if you're unsure whether or not the game is for you, definitely check out that Drums Rock free demo right now. And that's what I did, and I was able to get an actual sense of flavor of what the game felt like, and I was totally impressed with the actual haptics on the controllers as well as the headset haptics. I didn't actually check out the eye tracking for the score, didn't play it enough, but yes, this is sit down, pick up and play, instant action. Aside from the arcade aspect, the game actually does feature a full-fledged 4-hour campaign and then fight 2 bosses along the way. Very cool. The game does keep getting all of this love and support, so much DLC going on, and speaking of which, in the Deluxe Edition you are getting the Undertale DLC featuring Megalovania as well as the Power Metal music pack. Specifically, you're getting Hearts on Fire by Hammerfall, King for a Day by Battle Beast, Blood of the Elves by Blind Guardian, When Angels Kill by Fifth Angel, Higher by Northtail, Twilight Force by Twilight Force. And with the Undertale DLC, in that you're getting Hopes and Dreams, Megalovania. As well, you're getting some other goodies here, such as the Undertale drums, drumsticks, hands, and the exclusive Undertale scene. And what's really cool is getting that as well unlocks this extra difficulty mode for all songs going forward. So I do feel that is one of the most necessary DLCs to get for Drums Rock. But if you already own the base game and just want that Undertale DLC, you can get that on sale. It's 25% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 35% off total. The golden age of Atari is back in Pixel Rip 1978 and Atari Adventure, and it's 55% off. Over 230 people have rated this 4.04 out of 5 stars, with 73% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And if it's anything like Pixel Rip 1989 and Pixel Rip 1995, I will absolutely love this game. This one sets you in the golden age of Atari, as you're caught in the eye of the hurricane in a wacky time-traveling adventure where you are one of the main programmers at Atari and have to get inside the game to prevent history from being rewritten by a pesky supervillain. Of course, that has to be the CyubeVR Lord. The game features first-person shooter puzzles along with power-ups and abilities to help you traverse your journey, and the Pixel Rip series has been notoriously really clever when it comes to the nostalgia and then nailing it completely. This one claims to be a callback to the amazing Atari classics such as Millipede, Yar's Revenge, Sword Quest, Tempest, Fast Freddy, Asteroids, Crystal Castles, and much more. So I do own the game. I do have to pop this in sooner than later and let you guys know what I think, because I did love 1989 and 95. They were amazing. And what's really cool, unlike 89 and 95, this game was made for the next-gen VR system, so I'm totally excited to check it out and see what this looks like. I know all cartoons, again, look amazing in the PSVR2 headset. Feel the lifelike simulation of skiing that feels natural and real in Snow Scout, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. Over 100 people have rated this 4.49 out of 5 stars, with 88% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. In this exploration adventure on skis, you start on a 1-week stint as a volunteer for the Snow Scouts. Your task is to prepare a small ski resort in the German-speaking Alps for reopening. During your 7-day stint, you're guided by the radio in this remote and majestic mountain wilderness. The lifelike simulation of skiing makes movement through vast landscapes feel natural and real, even in limited VR play spaces. I will be checking out the room scale VR and seeing how that actually plays out. I'm very curious. Cross-country skiing as well as descent runs are featured as competitive events with online leaderboards. Awesome. Communicate with your friendly superior through an innovative communication system. The game offers a full story mode with over 3 hours of recorded narration, 20 ski races, and lots of side tasks to complete. Wow, that sounds awesome. I've never skied before, so I don't have any attachment to skiing, but I am definitely curious in checking this out. Experience real combat that requires strategy against armored, physically simulated enemies in this action-packed award-winning game, Swordsman VR, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. Over 3,300 people have rated it 3.99 out of 5 stars, with 73% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 13% gave this 1 star. Swordsman is a realistic sword fighting game with challenging opponents and epic boss fights. Remember, approach every fight like a real duel. Parry enemies and strike them when they're weak. Physically simulated weapons and realistic armor physics will challenge you in this visceral combat experience. Visit the blacksmith to purchase weapons or take down powerful bosses to unlock their unique weapons and special abilities as you gear up for increasingly difficult fights. But wait! Weapons alone will not be enough, as you will have to visit the skill master to upgrade your stats and skills, and the armorer to equip yourself with better armor. Be strategic and build your ideal character to suit your unique playstyle. No joke, I did play this on the PSVR 1 back in the day for a few hours, dug the concept, but it didn't feel like an extension of my body, truly. Once I found out about this being on PSVR 2, I loaded it up, and oh my, I can't reiterate enough how this game was truly meant for the PSVR 2, as you can now play room scale with that perfect tracking to actually feel like you're in a real sword fight. So awesome and incredible. It truly feels like a new game now. And I mean, I felt that within seconds of my very first fight. It was that much of a dramatic difference when it comes to gameplay. For real. I'm honestly blown away by that upgrade. And to speak to more of the game's awesomeness, it does include player progression, campaign, arena, and event modes with lots of stats and skills to upgrade for your ideal character build. And you'll also have the option to add modifiers such as chronokinesis, where you can slow down time whenever you want, along with other modifiers that completely change the game in fun and exciting ways. And get this, the game also includes official events with huge prizes like headsets, consoles, gaming chairs, studio merchandise, and more. I can't say this enough, now's truly the time to master the blade and become the ultimate swordsman in VR, especially at that awesome sale price. GORN is a ludicrously violent VR gladiator simulator, and it's 50% off right now. With over 2,400 people rating it, it scored 4.21 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. I did play it on PSVR 1, I beat it all the way through, I enjoyed myself heavily, went to go play it on PSVR 2 with that free upgrade. At the time, in the tutorial, it had you move your arms in order to get around the area, and you could not change that, so I have not checked it out since, but right away, the colors of course look amazing, but I didn't feel compelled to go back after playing it on PSVR 1 to do it all over again. Anyone who's never played GORN before, I kind of have to recommend you check out Barbaria first, because I think it has a lot more depth and complexity other than just the arena combat. And for sure, the room scale VR would be the way to play this. Just be very careful where your walls are, because you will be swinging your arms around like baseball bats for sure in this style of game. But if you want the complete world building experience, look no further than cyubeVR. This one's 20% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. Just under 1,000 people have rated this 4.42 out of 5 stars, with 85% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And as you're seeing here, you're going to step into the most visually stunning voxel universe, custom crafted for the unparalleled immersion of VR. And of course, you can follow the objectives that guide you through the progression of the game, starting from breaking off your first piece of wood from a tree, to collecting increasingly rare resources and crafting powerful tools that allow you to fully shape your world. Explore a massive world, gather resources, naturally craft with your hands in 3D, and build anything you can imagine, literally. With infinite possibilities, you're going to navigate intricate, luminous caves delving deep underground, smelt collected resources with realistic VR furnace mechanics, or design a fortress on top of a towering mountain where you can get an amazing view over the world. In cyubeVR, if you can see it, you can reach it, or even destroy it. Explore a fully destructible world that's as fluid as it is expansive, made up of hundreds of billions of individually modifiable voxel blocks, with smoothly changing time of day and weather. Immerse yourself in a world brought to life by complex dynamic lighting and captivating night skies adorned with beautiful auroras. Experience unparalleled clarity and detail up close, thanks to meticulously crafted 8K textures and eye-tracking foveated rendering, powered by Unreal Engine. Even the closest inspection reveals a world in stunning sharpness. And what's incredible on top of this, they include mod support on PS5, where you can easily browse, download, and install custom mod blocks created by the cyubeVR community for maximum variety in your builds. And to wrap this all up, they talk about having this comfort your own way, where it ensures an accessible VR experience for everyone.
Epsilon, come in.
Red Matter has been heavily upgraded for the PSVR 2 and it's currently 45% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 50% off total. Over 1,300 people have rated this 4.67 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. As Agent Epsilon in Red Matter, you'll investigate a top-secret research project on Rhea, one of Saturn's moons, decipher hidden messages and mechanisms using an array of high-tech tools in a surreal, high-detail, brutalist environment. But beware, the truth you uncover may be darker than you ever imagined. And I have to say, I did just play this again for the first time on the PSVR 2, and I felt like the entire game looked much better, and that could have been just because everything was sharp and clean at the 4K HDR OLED display here. But the room scale, me walking around freely, full 360, being able to interact with everything with no tracking issues whatsoever, the adaptive triggers, the controls, everything just felt way better. So yes, even though you might have played this on the PSVR 1 a long time ago, there is a free upgrade for Red Matter 1. I do highly recommend you put it in and play it for a couple more hours, play it all over, and then go play Red Matter 2. And the next highly rated puzzle mystery game is The Room VR: A Dark Matter, and it's 35% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. And over 2,000 people have rated this since the PlayStation VR 1 days, 4.79 out of 5 stars, with 96% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And the setting is the British Institute of Archaeology in London, 1908. The disappearance of an esteemed Egyptologist prompts a police investigation into the unknown. Explore cryptic locations, examine fantastic gadgets, and enter an otherworldly space which blurs the line between reality and illusion. Players can inhabit the spine-tingling world of The Room and interact with its strange contraptions in this compelling new chapter. Even though I did play this all the way through on PSVR 1, I have not played it on PSVR 2, so I do not know if I can recommend this at the sale price, to be honest with you, but back in the day, it was absolutely worth it. The cartoon comedy Border Agent Simulator BorderBots VR is currently 50% off. Over 100 people have rated this 4.56 out of 5 stars, with 92% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And quite simply, this is a puzzle simulation set on a future Earth where AI is in control. As a human border agent, you begin a new role as a booth operator at an AI travel border. Interact and check over a variety of robots as they try to get through security. Some of their credentials might not be up to scratch, and it's up to you to make sure that they get the stamp of approval. And this game is actually supposed to be quite funny to play. I have not experienced this before, but again, just reading general reviews, most people leave this game quite happy. I personally have been putting this game off because it does remind me a lot about Job Simulator, but I've heard that it is not Job Simulator. So again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to this game, please do let us know whether or not we should get this at the sale price. And now's the time to embark on a series of lemming-like puzzles because Tin Hearts is 60% off. That said, if you're a PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium member, this game is now a part of your catalog, so do not buy this game. Over 300 people rated it 3.37 out of 5 stars, with 58% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 31% gave this 1 star. I have not played this game before, but I do believe that low rating has to do with the actual style of the game. So if you did not know, again, Lemmings is all about giving directions to a bunch of soldiers, essentially, that you're seeing on screen and directing them to these locations. And they're trying to make their way from point A in the room to point B using whatever is around in their environment. Now, unlike Lemmings, this is supposed to have a captivating and emotional story of a genius inventor, Albert Butterworth, whilst guiding a troop of tin soldiers to reach their goal. And apparently it's critically acclaimed for its moving narrative, refined puzzle design, and immersive atmosphere. Tin Hearts is a narrative puzzle adventure where the ghosts of the past emerge to tell a resonating tale of family, love, and compromise. Spanning across 4 distinct acts with 50 plus puzzles masterfully woven through a grand Victorian home, steadily uncover a variety of whimsical inventions with unique abilities to provide a safe route of passage for the tin soldiers to travel. Each location has an abundance of treasured memories, whilst there are some that would rather be forgotten. In a tragic fable, which will see Albert, overwhelmed by sorrow and heartache, discover what brilliant minds do when the love for life and the love for invention are threatened by life itself. Interesting. You're gonna set out on an immersive adventure through 50 plus Lemmings-like puzzles which consistently evolve as you progress. Uncover new routes to your destination each time you play, with multiple ways to solve the intricate puzzles. Take your time working through the relaxing puzzles while indulging in the soundtrack from award-winning composer Matthew Chastney, whose credits includes trailers for Joker, Chernobyl, and Bridgerton. No way, that's awesome. So again, the game seems like it has a lot going for it, but this is not for everybody. If you didn't know that it was a Lemmings-like puzzle-based game, then yes, you might be thrown off by what you're playing here. Introducing yet another take on the Lemmings formula, Bridge the Gap is currently 30% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. And only 12 people have rated this so far, giving it 4 out of 5 stars. And the whole premise of the game is that you're a friendly spirit entity tasked with helping these little monkeys find their way through the mysterious Bricklands. You must create safe passages between portals as you lead the monkeys to safety, helping them overcome all environmental obstacles along the way. And this touts to have 5 unique settings with 80 varied levels, with more coming soon. And even though the game's been out for just a little while, I've only heard great things about it so far. Anyone in the comments section, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. Immerse yourself in the ambient atmosphere and otherworldly music and search for lost artifacts hidden throughout the world in Mare. And it's 20% off. Only 52 people have rated this, 4.54 out of 5 stars, with 88% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. The whole game here is exploring the vast and strange landscapes from a viewpoint of a mechanical bird, where you guide and protect a vulnerable AI companion and her unexpected adventure. Explore and discover the underlying narrative spanning over 8 chapters, and immerse yourself in the ambient atmosphere and otherworldly music for a soothing experience. Venture deep into unknown territory on a puzzling adventure while unraveling a mysterious narrative and the secrets hidden within, all in order to ensure the arrival of the companion at her impending destiny. Search for lost artifacts hidden throughout the world in order to unlock the final secret of Mare. Anyone in the comments that owns this, loves it, or hates it, please pipe in and let us know whether or not we should grab this on sale. Awesome Asteroids pays homage to the arcade classics, and it's 55% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 70% off total. Over 110 people have rated this, 3.23 out of 5 stars, with a completely mixed bag here. Quite simply, you'll blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. Grab shield power-ups to charge your shields, which will protect you from asteroids and mines. You'll need to take out enemy ships before they can destroy your bases while avoiding their defenses. So that is super simple. Whether or not it's fun using the HOTAS, I do believe this game was touting to have the eye tracking, so you just look and it automatically locks on to fire. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether or not it's fun to play. Again, anyone in the comments section that wants to speak to it, please do.
She's such a pain in the ass. I wish she'd leave me alone. Ow! Wait! I wasn't ready!
Drunkn Bar Fight is simply an immersive, silly, and rowdy game, and it's 25% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. With over 2,000 people rating it, 3.87 out of 5 stars, 69% of the audience gave it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 17% gave this 1 star. Get into fights and use anything and everything around you to create as much chaos as you like. Why limit yourself to bars? Crash a wedding, get into back alley fights, riot a store, or even a police station. Enjoy performing socially unacceptable behavior without the resulting obligatory visits to the hospital, jail, and courts. The only limits to the mayhem is your imagination and your moral decency. And what's really cool, the game does offer 4-player co-op with those 6 levels, and incredibly, it does offer more than 110 different weapons, from crowbars to beer bottles, tip jars, plungers, explosives, and more. And then it has a variety of over 50 enemies, including a Karen. So it's really interesting because I want to say half the audience has come back to me and said, yes, it's absolutely worth your time and money. It's so much fun to pick up and play and just have a riot with your friends. And then the other half is saying, no man, don't waste your time or money with this game. Become a burglar in Thief Simulator VR, Greenview Street, and it's 35% off. Over 900 people have rated this, 3.28 out of 5 stars, with 50% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 31% gave this 1 star. Sneak around and rob houses all over the neighborhood while freely moving in an open world. Smash windows or use a glass cutter to open them silently. Treat yourself to a car ride. Awesome. Buy and use various thieving tools. Raise your experience level and learn new tricks. Sell your loot to various dark types, online and in person. Hack stolen electronics to raise their price on the black market while hiding from the police under beds, in closets, and garbage cans. But most important, don't get caught. And just to speak to the extra attention this game is getting, there are some other packs of DLC available. These are not on sale, but you may be interested to know what else is available here. 2 of these are maps with new missions, game mechanics, loot, characters, houses, security challenges, hijacking cars, cloning keys, and more. And the third pack is all about adding more costumes and accessories, essentially. And if you're unsure whether or not this game is for you, you can get the Thief Simulator VR Prologue, which is the demo for free on the PlayStation Store right now. Prepare to enter the mesmerizing world of Corridor VR, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. Only 14 people have rated this 3.64 out of 5 stars, with half of them giving it 5 stars, but 21% gave this 1 star. In this captivating journey, you'll explore a series of interconnected corridors that will test your wits and agility, each with its unique style and challenges. What makes Corridor VR truly stand out is the ability to shift between the normal world and the mysterious mirror world. This dual dimension feature allows you to navigate the corridors and unlock hidden pathways by leveraging the differences between the two realms. Anyone in the comments that has played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know in the comments section whether we should pick this up at that sale price. I'm genuinely curious. I have no idea what this game really does involve. TRIPP, a new way to meditate, is 30% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 40% off total. 378 people have rated it 2.44 out of 5 stars, with 47% giving this 1 star, but 20% did give this 5 stars. And thankfully, I can let everybody know before you buy this game, it is excellent for what it's designed to do. It is not a game to just sit back and trip out to visuals, looking at something like that. This is literally designed to help you breathe at timed intervals with a very soft, slow, methodic voice that guides you through each meditation. So the visuals are neat, they're neat, but they do remind me of very sharp PSVR 1 quality graphics. Quite literally, this app is designed to take anywhere. It is very overwhelming to just pop in and see all the different menus going on, all the different exercises. I didn't even know where to start, what to do. And then here I'm learning that you're gonna track how you feel each day as you're doing it. Very weird and unique. I did only play this for 45 minutes. Please understand this. And I was pushing through it because I wanted to play a game not knowing, no, this is forcing me to chill out. At the end of that 45 minutes, I've said this a few times and I'm always talking about it because it really did stand out to me. There was one exercise that had me humming while I was breathing. And I do know that that's an actual medical thing that's supposed to create some sort of nitrous oxide. I think that's like laughing gas or whatever in you to relieve tension or something. Not a doctor, can't speak to it, but I definitely felt that the next morning, waking up going, why do I feel very calm and relaxed and lightheaded? And, I associate that with doing this right before going to bed that night. So very weird, very cool. Totally think it will help so many of you out there who do need to force yourself to stop and breathe. Again, that timed interval thing. I was out of breath. When you have to force yourself to wait for that moment to breathe in and hold, it's crazy how it is an exercise, literally. It's so weird to say that, but I'm very grateful that they did send me the keys so I could speak to this, knowing this is meant to help you meditate. It's not a game, literally. And right when you load the game, they get you to enter in your demographics or psychographics. That way it's on a mobile app and you can take with you everywhere. So yeah, again, an exercise app essentially. Car Mechanic Simulator VR challenges players to repair, paint, tune, and drive cars in the real world, and it's 65% off. 240 people rated it 2.5 out of 5 stars, with just under half of them giving it 1 star, but 32% gave this 4 or 5 out of 5. In this game, you're going to have realistic work with tools and car parts, growth and expand your repair service empire, the most detailed automobile simulation game on VR. Buy old vehicles, renovate them, and sell with profit. That is the gist of the game and from the PlayStation Store description. From what I'm reading though, the initial first stage, the first level, it's full of bugs and glitches from what I understand. Not too sure whether or not it's a tracking issue or if it actually just doesn't work. Again, anyone in the comments section that owns the game, plays it, please let us know your experience. Otherwise, I've been telling people that this game has not been working almost in the beginning levels of the game, which is unfortunate. I do want this to be out there. Battle waves of polygon-shaped zombies in a series of high-stakes shooting ranges in Deadland Polygon VR, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 20% more, making it 70% off total. Only 61 people have rated this 2.36 out of 5 stars, with 66% of the audience giving it 1 or 2 stars, but 20% did give this 5 out of 5. The game touts to use real-life shooting mechanics to aim, reload, and fire with accuracy while collecting power-ups to enhance your arsenal. Whether you're facing a zombie onslaught in endless mode or racing against time in timed mode, each mission brings unique challenges. But from everything I'm seeing and hearing, every other game I've played with the target mode, whether it's Pavlov, Zombieland, Gun Club VR, Resident Evil, like every game with a targeting range looks better than this game. I personally have not played this, so I can't speak to this from experience, but as you're seeing here, this gameplay footage is from Cussman's YouTube channel, so I highly recommend you check it out if you want to know more about this game. Walkabout Mini Golf Lost Cities bundle features 5 DLC courses included with the base game, and it's 25% off. Escape into a fun and beautiful world filled with the best mini golf courses you've ever seen. Quite literally, guys, I'm not kidding. Play by yourself, meet someone new, or challenge your friends in a private game with up to 8 people. With extremely realistic physics, you're going to create the perfect experience for hardcore golfers and casual players alike. This entire base game has 8 unique 18-hole courses to master, and each one has the ability to unlock Night Mode for more challenging versions of all courses. Again, you can play solo 1 versus 1 online quick matches, or you can create a private room with up to 8 players, and with that private room, every player can play on your course. If you own all of the DLC in this game, everyone can participate. They just can't do any of the treasure hunts or use any of the special putters that they've accumulated and play in your course. And of course, they cannot play and practice on the course until they buy it themselves. But before you run out and buy this bundle, if you're a PlayStation Premium member, you do already have the base game in your catalog. You're going to collect over 188 custom balls hidden throughout the entire game. As well, you can solve these treasure hunts on each hard course to earn special putters. The game totally supports cross-play, which allows every VR user to play, meaning that you'll never be alone playing this game. And to fit all playstyles, you can teleport, use smooth locomotion, or fly around on your putter like a witch on a broomstick. And then you've got these custom avatars featuring lip sync and a quadrillion plus combinations. Over 2,100 people rated this 4.64 out of 5 stars, with 91% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And here's a quick look at all of the courses included in this bundle. Atlantis. El Dorado. Temple of Zerzura. Shangri-La. Gardens of Babylon. And that is all of the games and DLC during this Dealmania sale until Wednesday, March 12th. If you guys like the video or any of the sales videos that I produce, please click that like button. And if you love what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe to it. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.
PlayStation